another episode of Black Father Sentinel, where we are changing the narrative of how fathers are depicted in today's society. So first of all, let's begin. I know you're wondering about the P on my hat. I am not a Pirates fan at all. In fact, I'm not a baseball fan at all. In the sake of my son playing for the Pirates for his Little League baseball team, we are supporting the P today. Now let's get right into it. Let's just title this video, self-defense, okay? So long story short, typical day for me. I get off of work, I go to the school, pick my kids up. This time, my daughter is running to the car again. Those of you who watched the last video, you know it was almost time to get hyper daddy mode. However, in this case, she wasn't running to the car frantic or hurt or anything like that. She was actually smiling. So I knew everything was okay. But I also knew she had something to say. So she gets in the car and she says, "Dad, Noah had a fight today." I'm like, what? A fight? What is going on around here? So those of you who don't know, my kids go to schools that's like way out. There's not inner city schools. It's not like the public schools. It's a public school for a different county, right? And so the probability of having fights at those type of schools is like highly unlikely. So if you did have a fight, like somebody started it or somebody just, something is going on, right? So she explains to me that he didn't have a fight for real, Dad. He just put the guy down. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, what are you talking about? He put the guy down. I'm like, yo, Juicy, what happened? Like, tell me what's going on. She puts me on ice. Dad, I can't explain it. Wait till Noah gets in the car and then he'll tell you the whole details because I don't want to mess up anything. I'm like, cool. I can understand that. When my son gets to the car, we talk every day. I inquire about his day, so I'm sure he's going to tell me what happened, right? Not at all. Yeah. So he gets in the car. He immediately goes in his book bag, pull out his phone, and go straight to his YouTube shorts. Like, he's not even thinking about the situation. It must not have been a big deal in his mind. I don't know, whatever the case may be. So anyway, I start up the car. I hit a block. We're heading towards home. Still nothing. We're like 2 minutes into the ride. So I finally just say, "Yo, Stu, what happened at school today?" He says this, "Huh?" I said, "Yo, what happened at school today?" And I kid y'all not, verbatim, this is what he said. "Huh? Oh, self-defense, Dad." And that was it. Like that, he tried to leave it like that. I'm like, nah. So fathers, one of the things I want to tell you all is always inquire, always ask questions, see what's going on. It's just that bonding time, right? Because they may have felt like they handled the situation like they were supposed to, when in all actuality, they didn't. So it's for us to guide them, and show them the proper ways to do things. Because we have to remember that they are kids, right? All right. So anyway, I started to inquire about what happened, what took place in this whole self-defense situation. So I said, "Stu, what happened? Like, tell me what's going on." So he begins to break down the story. Now, here's where it gets a little weird, right? I didn't realize how far removed I was of being a child, right? So let me explain it to you. He begins to tell me how the story took place, right? "Dad, we're playing a game called M.A.S.H, and he didn't like his part in the game M.A.S.H. Slow down, son. What is M.A.S.H? In my mind, here's what I'm thinking. And I'm sure y'all thinking this too. Did he just say M.A.S.H? Y'all know the show that comes on after, what is that? Married with Children, when it's time to take your ass to sleep. That M.A.S.H? So I'm thinking in my head, why would y'all be playing a game that's symbolic of this TV show? Like, this is weird, but I'm curious to see where we're going to go with this. So I'm like, yo, you talking about M.A.S.H like the TV show? No, Dad, M.A.S.H. Everybody knows what M.A.S.H is. And then he got upset because I did not know what M.A.S.H was. So I'm like, yo, don't get mad at me. It's not like y'all playing it or hide and seek or tag, or if you're in a neighborhood, ding dong ditch. These are games that I know, right? These are regular little kid games. I don't know anything about this M.A.S.H game. All right, so let me break down M.A.S.H to you all. It's crazy. So anyway, M.A.S.H is an acronym. It stands for mansion, apartment, shack, or house. Now in this game, you or other people around you, so it could be a group of 4, everybody gets a choice chosen by the other people in the game or where you're actually going to live at. So you might live in a mansion, an apartment, a shack, or a house. M.A.S.H, right? Then they also decide who you're staying with, right? What kind of car you drive, and what you eat. It's just a long, I don't know. It's just a weird game. I don't know. It's just something that they're playing nowadays. I probably wouldn't play it when I was younger. I just don't have time for that type of stuff. But anyway, it's one of the new games that's out. Check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about. M.A.S.H. All right. So here's how it takes place. They're playing the game M.A.S.H. This guy, I won't mention his name, but this is the guy that Stu got into the altercation with. I'm assuming that he got placed in the shack, right? Because why else would you get upset? I mean, mansion, that's pretty cool. Apartment, you might have a balcony view, whatever the case, a pool in the back, a house. Everybody wants a house, right? Why would you get mad? All right, so I'm assuming he got put in the shack. That's not the case. The guy is in a mansion, so he gets chose a mansion. I think that's cool. That's fair, right? But it wasn't that. It was with who they coupled him with. Now, allegedly, they coupled him with a third grader. I'm not sure of her race, nationality. Who cares? I don't care what she looks like, whatever the case may be. Obviously, whoever she was, it wasn't fine to this guy, okay? So once he hears who he's going to be coupled with in this mansion, and keep in mind, these are 9 and 10-year-olds, by the way. I don't know why they're coupling people, but just hear the story out. So he's in the mansion with this third grader. And that's when things like broke loose. It went crazy. He doesn't want to be in that, but that's a part of the game. You can't break the rules. That's just the person that, they decide to couple you with. It's based on a number system. You pick 3, they cross out 3. You might end up with 4. 4 might be a second grader, whatever the case may be. So he ends up with this third grader. Okay. So he gets mad. He goes up to Stu. He tries to grab his notebook and rip up his notebook. So before he can rip it up, Stu snatches it back. Hey, listen, man. Hey, that's my folder. Don't do that. It's my take-home folder. I'm going to need that. Like, you're trying to get me in trouble. Because I know when he gets home, where's your take-home folder? Let me see what you got in there. So he didn't want any smoke with me, so he's just trying to get out the way. Fine. The dude bags up, right? So this is where it gets wild. So the guy proceeds to come closer to Stu. Here's how my son explained it. Dad, I pushed him. I said, why did you push him? He's like, Dad, he looked like he wanted to swing on me. I'm like, what do you mean? He looked like he wanted to swing on? Did his fist was bald, or like you saw the aggression in his face, or like what was going on? And this is what he said. Dad, I saw that hand extend. I said, what do you mean you saw a hand extend? Like, you know how you just, like it was one of those extensions that I saw that hand extend and I just pushed him. I'm like, son, so you pushed him, and then what happened after that? He fell in the bushes, he started crying, and then the after school chaperone came over there, talked to both of us, and then it was over. I'm like, okay. So here's my thing. This is my thing. This is what I teach my children, right? Words, that's okay. That's cool. We can handle words. People are going to talk about you anyway, whether you're doing the right thing, whether you're doing something bad. You're going to get talked about regardless. That's just the world that we live in. But if anybody were to put their hands on you, physically touch you, then you have the right to defend yourself. Now, fathers, I don't know if I'm wrong with that. I don't know what you're teaching your son. I know when I was growing up, and I'm not saying that this is the proper way, but I know when I was growing up, y'all all know what your mama told you, right? Or what your daddy told you. If somebody hits you, you better do what? Thank you. That's my point exactly. And so I just explained to him, like, listen, man, you gotta, you don't have to get emotional. I always teach my children to put thought before emotions, right? Now, in his case, he said he saw a hand extend. So why would he take a hit just to get the physical hit, which would allow him to do what I told him to do? If somebody puts his hands on you, go ahead and, you got the right to defend yourself. So in this case, I don't know if he was wrong. I'm glad that he was able to see what was forthcoming and he was able to defend himself. And it was a simple push. Again, I'm not saying this is the right thing. I'm curious to hear what you all have to say about it. But I think he did okay in this instance. If I see somebody's hand extend, that means that they are in a posture that lets me know that they're about to swing off on me or try to do some type of bodily harm to me. So I don't know if he was wrong in this instance. I just told him, listen, words are okay. But if somebody put their hands on you, in this instance, they did not put their hands on him. So I just told him, listen, in my book, son, you did what you had to do. You felt like it was a threat. Yeah, you have to handle your business. Now, we don't go around bullying people. We just defend ourselves. So in this instance, son, I think you did a great job. Now, I'm curious to hear what you all have to say about it. Am I a bad dad for this? Did I tell him the right thing? Did I tell him the wrong thing? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Again, this is another episode, Black Father Signal, where we are changing the narrative of how fathers are depicted in today's society. We standing up. We are present. We are active. Let's get it, y'all. Black Father Signal.